Olivia, what does it feel like to be part of the MCU, and what was it about the character of Sonia that attracted you to the role?
Being part of the MCU for me is a dream come true. I've been asking to be part of it for quite a while. And Sonia, I mean, I always imagined maybe I'd be a superhero, but actually, Sonia, I loved playing her so much because I think she's funny. I find it hilarious that she goes to a torture scene with a rather chic coat, a little handbag, and is clearly loving her job. And I love the fact that she and Fury are friends, share a history, have each other's back, sort of take the piss out of each other. It's such an enjoyable relationship that we have.
I think somewhere down the line, Sonia should either get bitten by some insect or thrown into a machine somewhere that when she comes out of it, she has the power of invisibility.
Oh, Samuel,
wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, work on that.
And she'd get longer legs as well.
Get longer legs too. Make her taller.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sam, we see Nick Fury in a different light in the series. Tell us where he is and what is different about him when the story opens. Did you enjoy exploring this other side of him?
Seeing Nick Fury in a different light in this particular series, and do I enjoy showing that particular side of him? I've always wanted to be a human Nick Fury. I always thought I was. I mean, I realized that there is a perception of Nick as, being sort of a cold fish in ways, but the only thing that he does is run hot or stay cold. So it's kind of great to find him in the position that we find him in this particular series, coming back to Earth after what I believe or perceive to be 6 years of absence after the blip, and seeing the profound effect and damage that absence has done to him, or what happened in his head because he was gone, and trying to figure it out. And coming back and having people tell him he's not the same person that he was before. And him being smart enough to believe it and try and figure out a way to solve the problems that are presented to him as the old Nick Fury. And he seeks ways to find himself or to get back to the powerful person that he used to be, using the networks that he had from his past and some of the people in his present.
Olivia, Sonia is a seasoned MI6 agent. What is she trying to accomplish, and what is her relationship with Nick Fury like?
So Sonia's a seasoned MI6 agent, and she's basically she's trying to protect her country, no matter what. That's a spy's job. She goes a little further than most spies. And her relationship with Nick Fury, they clearly knew each other back in the day before Fury's ascension to the spaceship and Avengers and everything, back when he was sort of on the ground working his way up as a spy. And I think that's when they met, and they, I think, respect each other's work. They're clearly working for different people, but I think they would always look out for each other, and they trust each other, and they admire each other. So, and they have a laugh. It's quite nice.
Sam, what is Nick Fury's relationship with Talos and the other Skrulls he brought to Earth?
Well, what is Nick Fury's relationship to Talos and the other Skrulls that he brought? Well, if you saw Captain Marvel, you know that Nick Fury was with her while the Skrulls were having their war with the Kree. And he helped her liberate the Skrulls from the Kree, but also knowing that their world was destroyed by the Kree, promised them that he and Carol Danvers would find a new planet for them to live on. It's been almost 20 years now, and he has not fulfilled that promise. And the few Skrulls that he knew came to Earth because they had a destroyed ship, so they couldn't go out. Half of them were in a prison camp somewhere else, and the rest of them were stranded somewhere in the galaxy, and Carol was taking care of them, according to what Nick's knowledge is of them. So the few Skrulls that he knows are on Earth are Talos, his wife, their daughter, maybe one or two more. So it's a shock for him to find out that all these Skrulls are on Earth, and that Talos snuck them in, and he's a bit perturbed by that idea and knows that if the general populace of the world found that out, that would be an issue. So that's where he is right now with them.
All right, so this one's going to be for the both of you. Tell us what you each enjoyed the most about working with one another. Olivia, you can go.
What I enjoyed most about working with Sam, that's very hard to answer as a one. There wasn't like one thing. I enjoyed the process of being on camera together, the acting together, but I love talking to Sam offset. I loved watching you interact with the whole crew, with your team. The whole thing has been everything I'd hoped for. Like one of the loveliest men working, and I'm so honoured to have been part of it.
Oh my God.
You made us both cry.
Working with Olivia Colman.
You better be nice now.
Is that? It's, first of all, it's not work. It's, a joy and pleasure to share the artistic space in that way, from using words that other people have written to express our relationship on the inside of a story that feels like something that's genuine and not forced. That's very, 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 very precious to have when you're doing work, to make it seem like not work. The joy of seeing her come in the room and light it up, because that's what she does. The room just gets kind of brighter when she shows up, and everybody's like, "Oh, Olivia's here. This is going to be such an easy day," because she makes it easy and she makes it joyous. And you feel like you've done something special when you finish working with her, no matter what that is right now. Even in, something as trivial as what people think is a Marvel story. She does have, a wonderful life that, I'm always inquiring about and asking about, and I love hearing her talk about her kids and her husband. I think that, one of the wonderful things about being able to be in this business is you meet people that you genuinely know leave their mark on the world in a positive way, and that's what she does and is doing and has done. The world's a better place because she's in it.
Oh my God,
especially
Sam.
mine.
Oh, you. I feel exactly the same. Now I'm going to cry.
All right, this is another one for both of you. Ali Selim directed all 6 episodes of Secret Invasion. What is his style, and what does he bring to the project? Olivia, we'll start with you again.
See, Ali, who directed all 6 episodes, which is not common on a project like this. It's often 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 different directors.
Yeah.
And so, hats off to him for taking on all of us and all of that. He was always so calm, so gentle. Nothing was too much trouble. And, I would have, I was going to say my hair would have fallen out trying to do it, and he's not a man with a lot of hair. maybe that was us that did it to him. But he was the gentlest, sweetest, most intelligent, emotionally available, wonderful man. There was no shouting. Everybody respected him. He really knew what he was doing. He was on it. I just loved the ability when things were being set up around us. He could come over and have a chat, and he had amazing life experiences, and you sort of forgot that he was carrying the weight of all of this because he was so gentle and calm at all times. Yeah. A genuinely lovely human being, and I'm very pleased to have met him. I'm very impressed with what he did, and I loved being directed by him.
I was Ali as director. I always think a director is very smart that, kind of leaves me alone. It's they hire us for a reason. And there are some people that come onto a movie set that I generally tell directors, I always tell them all the time when we have one of our first conversations, I've already seen this movie. And they go, oh, wait a minute. I said, well, in my head, I've seen the movie. I know what I'm doing from page 1 to page 151. And if you let me do it, I think you'll be okay. And he did. I commend him for that, because there were difficult days, and not necessarily days that I was difficult with him, but there were difficult, the situations were strange, or the things that were happening around the set, and we were doing this right after COVID, so there were a lot of protocols and things going on. So it's not your general movie set, and he found a way to remain calm and a steady hand on the rudder of that ship that I don't think a lot of people would have been able to do.
Yeah.
And he allowed the production to blossom in all the ways that it had to blossom. And sometimes when, the flower was up and it was sitting in the water, some days you come back and the petals would be curled up or falling off. And you'd look and go, okay, what are we going to do? And he was fine. It's going to be fine. And he would prune those things off. And they would, put some fertilizer in the water, and it would get healthy again. And we would go away, and they would call us back and go, the flower's not so well right now. You come back. And he never, assigned blame to anyone. He took responsibility for everything that was happening around there because he was the captain of that ship. And he was a good captain.
Yeah.
In calm and stormy waters.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a poet.
There were great practical sets and several interesting locations. What was your favorite set location and why, Olivia?
My favorite set, I think my favorite set on this, I think was the first set that you meet Sonia on, partly because it was in Hatfield House, which is a beautiful building, and I do love old buildings. And I've filmed in there before, so it was exciting to go back. And it was a huge room. There was lots of space for everybody, and you didn't have to build it. So that was... I love that building, so that I was very happy to go back there. And then other sets, for me, weren't as exciting as that. We were outside in the woods, that was nice. Car was fun. Yeah. But I think the most beautiful and my favourite set was definitely the first one in her office with all the clocks, which was Hatfield House.
Yeah. I love that house too. I've actually shot in that house several times too.
Yeah, it does lots of
filming. Yeah, because we did part of Captain Marvel in that particular house.
Oh, did you?
It was no, it was something else. It was Scarlett's dance school. And when she was a Russian, it was her dance school. We did a whole thing in there. So I like that set a lot. And one of the reasons I like that set so much is because that's where I met you. So that will always have, that whole special thing. It's like the first thing I ever did with you was there, because this is not the last thing we're going to do together for sure.
I hope not.
And I liked my house. The house they created for me, or the house that they got that was that set. I liked that house. It was a nice house that felt like, Charlene and I had lived in it. It felt like a lived-in space. Nick wasn't there very much, according to the lore of the script.
I think what viewers can expect when they watch Secret Invasion is throw away what you expect to expect, because it is a Marvel Universe piece, but this is different. This is, I think, inviting a whole new load of fans in, because there's a lot of old school espionage, spy thriller stuff, which is, a very Third Man and all sorts of
Truth be told,
yeah.
viewers can expect to see the best damn acting they've ever seen done in the Marvel Universe by this group of people that are on this poster and everybody else who has a particular part in this series that passes through it in any way or any capacity because the bar was set very high.
Yeah.